My name is Tim. I'm a marijuana cultivator. I have a couple disclosed areas that I grow my product. I won't tell you exactly where, but somewhere in the Emerald Triangle. This season I grew about 47 pounds of marijuana. I have a local dispensary that has a good amount of patients that I like to supply, but recently the feds raided their shop, so they told me they're not going to be in business anymore. I was browsing Craigslist and I saw an ad that said medical cannabis wanted. I gave the number a call. 420 dinkity dink delivery. Hey, my name is Tim. I saw your ad on Craigslist that you guys are looking for medical marijuana. Is it grade A? It's grade AAA plus. Shit, that's what I like to hear, bro. Yeah, I want 3,000 a pound. I can do that, he said confidently. I was really surprised that he said that he could do that. I usually give a high price, then I wait for the buyer to haggle down the price. How much supply do you need, and how soon do you need it? We could use 50 pounds ASAP. I honestly don't like to deal with that much product for a first-time user. We're a legitimate 420 dispensary. Tim, our address is 7958 Molly Road, Los Angeles, California. Can you come tonight? Do you have 150,000 cash in your pocket? Of course. Send me your medical marijuana ID and your driver's license so I can verify you. Okay, if not today, then maybe tomorrow. Yeah, that works better for me. Alright, Tim, I'll see you tomorrow. He sent me a picture of his medical marijuana ID, but he didn't send a picture of his driver's license, which I directly asked for. That made me feel like he wasn't being straightforward with me. The name on the medical marijuana card said Christopher Thomas. Also, another thing that made me feel uncomfortable was on the Craigslist ad, he said my personal dispenser moved out of town. Which is kind of odd because the Los Angeles area has many vendors that will vendor to all the dispensaries in SoCal. I didn't like dealing with anything over 10 pounds with first-time patients or dispensaries, especially when you're dealing with 150,000 cash. Even though I didn't have the full 50 pounds, I'm sure 47 pounds would suffice. I drove down to Los Angeles in the morning with my 47 pounds of marijuana in the back of my truck in my 2013 Volkswagen Beetle TDI. It's a nice inconspicuous car. It was a little hard fitting all 47 pounds in the back of the trunk. I even had to stash a couple duffel bags in the passenger seat. I had a total of 5 duffel bags, 3 in the trunk and 2 in the passenger seat. When I reached the location in Los Angeles, I drove by the 420 Dankity Dank dispensary. It looked semi-legitimate. There was a green cross on the door, and the building was painted gray. I didn't see anyone walking in or out of the dispensary. That seemed a little odd to me, especially if they need 50 pounds. Also, they didn't have a weed maps or a leaflet on that address. That made me feel a little uneasy, and when I looked up Dankity Dank, their so-called name on Google, nothing popped up. That gave me a really bad feeling. I gave Chris a call. Hello? Hey Chris, it's me, Tim. Hey brother, do you want to stop by and drop off the 50 units? Yeah, are you guys open? Yeah, I'm sitting inside my shop. It was around 11 a.m. I had a bizarre feeling something wasn't right. Are you here? Chris asked in a alluring, strange tone in his voice. I'm almost there. I'll see you soon. Alright. Bye. One thing that seemed kind of odd to me was, as I drove by, I didn't see anyone walk in or out of this dispensary. Well, I guess it could be a slow morning for them. But whenever you're dealing with more than $100,000 worth of weed, you always start to think twice and you always have your guard up. I pulled in front of the shop and grabbed the 5 duffel bags and walked towards the door of the medical marijuana dispensary. As I was walking up to the door, a security guard opened the door for me. He was a big, stocky guy. The security guy smiled at me in a creepy way and said, "Let me help you with that." "No, it's alright." "No, I insist. Let me help you. Chris told me that you were coming." He was giving me a really bad vibe. I wanted to turn around and walk back to my car. I felt like something wasn't right. "Hang on, buddy. I need you to sign this paper," the security guard said as he pulled out a clipboard. "One thing you gotta know about growers that grow shitloads of cannabis is they don't sign any papers. All we do is just count money all day long." I told the security guard, "No thanks. I think I'm gonna wait until I can see Chris face to face." I heard someone creeping up behind me, so I turned around. Before I could even catch a glimpse of the person, out of nowhere, the security guard whacked me upside the head with his baton. I fell to the ground. All I could see was blue stars spinning around my head. Then I heard a crowd of guys running towards me. I held onto my duffel bags with all the strength in my hands, but these guys had bats and started beating my hands into a bloody pulp. I tried holding on with every ounce of energy that I had, but after they continued whacking my arms and hands with their bats, I couldn't hold on any longer, and now my bone was protruding out of my forearm. I had no choice but to let go. They grabbed the duffel bags and ran away. Just as I was about to get up, one last masked man struck me in the face, which knocked me out. I was on the ground unconscious for at least 10 minutes. When I got up, I was seeing stars. My duffel bags were all gone. I was still in the medical marijuana shop, or so I thought. It was a legitimate shop. I then realized I walked straight into a trap. It was an abandoned shop with nothing inside. This was not a dispensary. They just put up a green decal on the door to make it look like a dispensary. I pulled my phone out of my pocket and called Chris with blood dripping down my face and arms onto my phone. My body was becoming extremely cold. His phone went straight to voicemail. I called Chris
delivery
over and over again, but he obviously wasn't picking up his phone ever again. The good news is they didn't steal my car, so I ended up driving myself to the hospital and getting bandaged up. I can honestly say I made a big mistake. My instincts were right, I just didn't listen to them. I have a lot of friends of mine that want to get into the medical marijuana business. I honestly wouldn't recommend this business only because there are so many people being incarcerated in every state. Even though 23 states embrace marijuana and 4 states have been fully legalized, the truth is it's still a cutthroat business. But if you do get into the business, I would recommend, don't be so greedy. Keep everything at legal limits. Have a bodyguard by your side at all times. Screen your patients and your dispensary as thoroughly as possible, especially if it's your first time meeting up with them. Be generous with your patients and treat them as if they were your friends, not like a typical airport security customer. Also, if you do break the law by donating or selling over the legal limits, or carrying more than allowed, lawyer the fuck up. Having a lawyer is kind of like paying a soldier to go to war with you. You can't fight a war by yourself, but most certainly you are not going to win a war by yourself. You need a soldier that is trained in the art of combat, that knows how to fight and win a battle. That is what a paid lawyer does for you. They protect you. Don't be confused with a public defender, or shall I say, public pretender. They don't know who you are, they don't care who you are, you haven't given them any money, and you're probably gonna be worth more to them if you spend time in jail or prison. The legal system is very complicated and semi-corrupt, so make sure you lawyer the fuck up. It's been 1 year since the horrific robbery and beating that I went through. I have to say I'm doing a lot better. My jaw still hurts from being beat in the face with a bat, but the doctor said it will take another year for my jaw to fully recover. But if not, it's okay. The way they whacked me in the face kind of made my jaw look more like Kanye West. So, that's kind of cool. I still grow weed up in the Emerald Triangle. Not as large as I used to, though. I definitely don't respond to Craigslist ads that are looking for 50 plus pounds worth of herb. I've learned to be content with less, and I'm happy with that. For my final thought, I would like to say, be safe, my friends. And remember, if it looks like shit, smells like shit, walks like shit, it's probably bullshit.